Good evening, everyone. This is Dolores Cannon with the Metaphysical Hour. And we are live tonight. This is March the 30th, 2012. I have to give the date so they will know it is a live show and not pulled from the archives. But here we are at the end of March. I don't know where the whole year has gone already. But I have a really, really special guest tonight that I know you're going to really like to hear her story. And if we have callers, I would like you to direct some of your questions to her. But she's a fantastic lady, and we are old friends. We go back over 20 years. But the guest tonight is Doreen Virtue. And I don't think there's anybody in the metaphysical world that doesn't know who Doreen is. But let me give out the toll-free number. Don has already told us that there's many callers waiting to go online, but I'll give out the toll-free number just in case. The toll-free number is 1-888-627-6008. 888-627-6008. And we're talking to Doreen. She's in Hawaii, sunny Hawaii. Okay, Doreen, you there?
I'm here, Dolores. It's wonderful to be with you.
I was telling them we go back a long way.
Long time, in lifetimes, absolutely.
Yes, also. But, we've been friends a long time, and I really, really respect your work, and I think everybody out there who's in the metaphysical world, we always call you the angel lady.
That's what I've been called for a long time, and I want to just say that I always say that you're my favorite living author. Your work, I believe, is just a breath of fresh air, and I always recommend your books to people. So it's an honor to be with you tonight.
I appreciate that because I respect you so highly.
Thank you.
But what we're going to do tonight, I always start out by letting the guests tell how you began. Because, a lot of people don't know. All they know is that you're an established author. You've got, I don't know how many hundreds of books out there.
More than I can count. I stopped counting
You've
books
got
and
your angel cards, and you've got so many things out there. You've been doing this a long time, and they see you as established. But we all know, you have to begin somewhere.
That's right. And I was really lucky. I chose very open-minded spiritual parents for this lifetime. I think it's the only way that my guides got me to agree to come back here after the way they treated me in previous lifetimes, So I have really, really great parents. And I was born a clairvoyant child, like a lot of children, and I could see angels and dead people and energy, and it was extremely sensitive. And having these parents really helped me to keep my sensitivity open. And yet there was things they didn't understand that I was going through. I was being shown the future. I was being shown my life purpose. I was seeing dead people everywhere that I didn't recognize, and my parents just didn't know what to do with that. So I didn't even understand what was happening to me until much later in life. And I just grew up feeling like something was wrong with me. I knew that other people, other kids weren't seeing what I was seeing because I would talk about, look at this man over here when I was out with friends, and they'd say, what man? And I would talk about manifesting because my parents raised me metaphysically with manifesting, and nobody understood that word when I was growing up. So I felt very different than everyone else, very sensitive, very alone, and mostly unhappy as a child. But so to do this work openly now, it still feels odd. I don't know about you, but it's just, is this allowed to talk about all this? And just to have this be my career, my life path, to teach about these things that I grew up with is a miracle to me. And what I love teaching about is that we all have angels with us at all times, because this is something that I've been seeing since I was a child. And if people knew how protected they were and how loved and how guided they were, they would never be afraid or anxious again. They just would know that they're absolutely cradled in this unconditional pure love that is always with them. And these angels and guides want to help us to have this happy, happy life if we'll just listen to them. And so that's what my teaching is about, is helping my students and readers to listen and mostly to trust the messages they get.
Yeah, this is what I'm always telling my clients and everyone is you're never, ever alone. You come in with a guide or an angel assigned to you, and they have to be with you your whole life.
That's
because
right.
a lot of my clients feel like there's nobody, and they are there. They're there to help you, and they are yelling and screaming at you to get your attention.
They sure are. And they want the best for us. A lot of times people do hear their angels subliminally and through their intuition, but they resist making the changes that the angels are guiding them to make because just of fears and insecurities. Like they might get a message to quit their job and to become a healer, and they don't trust that message. And so not only are they losing out on being a healer and the joy of that, but their potential clients are losing out. So it's really important that we listen to our angels, not only for our own sake, but for all the people that we get to help once we listen to the angels.
But I think you were very lucky that you did choose parents that weren't trying to discourage this. Because, so many people, they start like that as children, and the parents say, no, you can't talk like that. People think you're crazy, and they squish them. They keep developing what they really is very natural talent.
Yeah, no, I was really fortunate. My mom is a third-generation healer, and so growing up, my parents used manifestation techniques and healing on things like our dishwasher, our car, on anything that my brother and I would get, normal childhood aches and bumps and illnesses. And we would never go to doctors or call repair people. We would use prayer and affirmation and visualization for everything. So that's just how I've always lived. And it was nice going to school because my mom would got me out of taking any kind of health or science classes because she didn't want me to learn about diseases, because she said if you learn about them, then you'll incorporate them in your thinking and manifest them. So I got to take lots of art classes growing up. That was really cool.
So that's really neat that she did encourage you like that.
Oh, yeah, she still does.
That way it was very natural for you. You didn't question it then.
No, it's all I've ever known. I grew up in this real loving, I never heard any arguing until I went out of the house. My parents are the gentlest people I've ever met. And so, but I think everyone, no matter what kind of childhood or parents they have, can benefit from connecting to the angels for healing our past. I had a gentle family, but it was harsh childhood because I got teased all the time, and I didn't feel like people understood me, and I just didn't feel like I fit in for most of my life. So I had to work with the angels to heal that part of my childhood.
You mean when you were in school, they were the one that teased you?
Yeah, the kids in the neighborhood would tease me. The kids at school, pretty much made me feel like I was some sort of freak or oddball, just for the way I talked. And
I went through all of that too. And I know a lot of the other psychics that I know that are genuine, a lot of them had the same problem because they had disabilities since childhood.
Yeah.
And, the school didn't understand, the kids don't understand. Kids can be very cruel to each other.
Oh, it's horrible. I love that right now there's a big movement of no bullying and anti-bullying movement, because I don't know about you, but I really suffered at the hands of bullies growing up, and I'm glad I didn't shut down over it. I know some highly sensitive people do shut down.
Yeah, I had the same way. I was teased and felt like I didn't belong in school all the way up through high school was the problem.
Same here.
That's the thing. You have to not let it get to you, but it's so hard. One thing I did learn, though, was that how to treat people.
Yeah.
And I raised my kids to not hurt anybody else when they were growing up, not to hurt any other child, because I knew what it felt like, and I didn't want them to make other kids go through that.
Exactly. Yeah, it gives you compassion to be on the other end of that. And when I've looked at all my past lives, I've been on the kind of the receiving end of racial prejudice in so many lifetimes. And I think the racial prejudice I got this lifetime was being highly sensitive and psychic. And so it brought up all the emotions of kind of persecution lifetimes that I've had. And then I had to also take responsibility for it, because feeling like a victim or blaming others, as you know, is a way to stay in the karmic cycle.
Yeah.
And so I really, really don't want to have any more mandatory karma after this life. So I've worked really hard to take complete responsibility for everything and do deep, deep forgiveness with everyone, all the way from God on down to every person in every lifetime, and especially forgiving myself. And it's made me feel really free. So, God willing, when I go back up to home, to the afterlife plane, I won't have to come back here next time. It'll be a choice.
Yeah, that's what I feel too. But yeah, you have to learn to forgive, and that's what I've been teaching in my classes and my lectures, is you've got to let go, because you carry that old karma around with you. I call it the baggage and the garbage. Yeah, you carry it around, and it ends up making you sick.
It makes you sick, and you keep attracting it over and over again.
All the junk. You got to get rid of all the junk.
Amen.
Because I have clients that come in that are they're in the victim mode.
Yep.
Poor me, look what everybody did to me and all of that. And they won't get out of that. And they are sick. They've made themselves miserable because they're in the victim mode.
Exactly.
And you do therapy too, and it's not easy to work with these people's problems.
Right. And some people aren't ready to hear that they're 100% responsible for everything. But when you get to that point, it's not depressing, it's not frightening, it's very freeing. And to get to that point, though, of taking responsibility for your life, it can feel ominous, because then you think, oh no, then I have all this pressure and responsibility for choosing my future. And the answer is, that's true, you do. And isn't that beautiful that you can choose to have this, to turn your life around, and the angels can help, especially in this new 2012 energy, we can turn our life around so quickly.
Well, everything is speeded up. That's what I've been telling people. Time is speeded up. Everything is. It's moving very fast.
It's so fast. It's amazing.
There's no time to hold on to all this junk anymore. You've got to let it go.
You do. And if you don't, the universe will let it go for you.
I always tell them, if you don't pay attention, they are going to hit you up the side of the head. And you don't want to wait till it gets to that point, but they will get your attention one way or the other.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I thought you and I would be retired by now, but there's still apparently lots of work for us to do, because you and I are traveling tirelessly around the world. And it's so funny for everyone listening. Dolores and I have been girlfriends, she said, at least 20 years, and we keep trying to get together, but we're always assigned to different parts of the planet. And usually I'll be going right where you...
Sometimes we're ships that pass in the night in these places.
Yeah, like you were in Hawaii. I live in Hawaii, but I was in Los Angeles, where you had just been, and this kind of thing happens all the time.
We were in England. I think I was in England. You were in Ireland, and we were just still so close, but we couldn't get together.
Well, I figure it's like waitresses at a restaurant, and God assigns us different tables to take care of.
Okay. But it is, a lot of times it is ships that pass in the night, but we're all doing our work. But I don't even know what the word retirement means.
Well, yeah, you're a poster child for hard work. I mean, your travel schedule makes me look like I'm sitting still, so I really applaud you and admire you for that.
No, what you've been telling me you've been doing this year alone, you're out there the same way. You're traveling everywhere, and you're talking to a lot of people.
It's exciting. I mean, I do like to travel, and I've finally learned how to maneuver through airports and the whole travel physical part of it, so that it works much better. And, it's so exciting to meet people from different cultures and to just experience this beautiful small planet we live on. I'm really excited this year. I'm going to some new places for me, such as Norway, and I get to lecture in Paris, which is such an amazing place to go, and Australia, all over London and Canada, and just wonderful places to go. And then I'll be in Japan in July, so it's so exciting.
You did mention Japan, but have you done all those things this year alone, or was that last year too?
I don't remember. It's a blur.
That's what I tell people. Sometimes I get up to give a lecture, and I'll say, "Where am I?"
Yes. Yes, I
don't even know what country I'm in. until they start asking questions and you hear the accent or something. I'll say, "Oh yeah, you're not in Kansas anymore."
Right. I always joke that I can speak 4 or 5 different types of English too, because the different English-speaking countries have different words, different vernaculars. So I've learned how to speak all these different forms of English too, traveling around the world. But one thing I've learned from traveling is that people everywhere want the same thing. They want to be at peace. They want to be happy. They want to be loved. And there is no division in countries when you go to the essential level of the human heart.
That's what I tell everybody at my lectures. If more people traveled, we wouldn't have the violence, we wouldn't have the wars. Because we can see we're all alike. We're all looking for the same thing. The people, they don't want wars. They don't want the violence. They just want to have a family and try to help, to have a good job, to take care of the family. They don't want all these other things that the governments want. They're just
true.
They're all good people.
It's true. And, I know that you've been getting this message, too, as a part of each workshop that I do. We spend time doing peace prayers. And the angels really gave me a clear message 2 years ago that, we all have free will, but that our free will we can't impose on someone else, and they can't either. But what we can do, they said, to the degree that someone else's free will choices affect your free will choice, they will intervene if we'll ask. We have to ask. But they said it's just like if someone was trying to smoke a cigarette in your house and you have a non-smoking house. That person has the free will right to smoke, but you have the free will right to have your house be smoke-free. So you can ask them to leave. So they said the wars is someone else's free will choice that's affecting all of our free will choice for peace. So the angel said if enough of us ask, please intervene into this overlap part of their free will and my free will. We don't want war. We want peace. That the angels can therefore intervene into these very few number of humans on this planet that are profiting by war and profiting by artificially creating recessions and oil shortages and keeping us on the fossil fuels instead of solar like we should be. There's just very few people who are imposing their free will choices on all the rest of us. And so if we would all just ask the angels to intervene into those people's free will to the degree it's affecting you, they said we could topple it in the direction of peace and having eco-friendly energy supplies.
Because that's what I've been saying for 20 years. I've always tell the audience, that's what Nostradamus said when I was doing those lectures, we don't know the power of your own mind, that all you have to do is focus on something and you can create it. Right. So they said if you could do that with one person's mind, imagine the power of group mind. So they told me to tell any group that was meeting together, metaphysical group, prayer groups, meditation groups, take even 5 minutes out of their group meeting to focus on peace and harmony, and we could create it because the power of the mind, its group mind, is not only multiplied, it's squared, and the power is tremendous.
How
and
beautiful.
A lot of people said they started doing that, focusing just 5 minutes in their meetings. We can do it if enough people understand their power.
That's right. It's really important not to complain or, like you and I were talking about, not to go into victimhood and say, oh, they're ruining the environment or they're creating these wars, but to just really take responsibility and say, no, enough. I demand a peaceful life. I demand a peaceful planet. I demand an eco-friendly planet. And really just put our foot down and speak up. It's not like the old lifetimes where they would burn us at the stake for speaking up. In this lifetime, they give you radio shows and publishing contracts for speaking up, Yeah,
and this radio show, I can say anything I want. No,
yay! Hooray for 2012.
Well, there's a caller. Do you want to go ahead and talk to him?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a call. That sounds great.
Okay, because there are some more things I do want to talk to you about. Okay, there's a caller there. Is somebody there?
Yes, hi.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Who's there?
Hi.
What's your
Stephanie
name?
Calling.
What?
My name is Stephanie.
Okay.
Stephanie, it's hard to hear you, sweetheart. Can you speak up just a little louder?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Doreen, I love you.
Hi.
I just wanted to know, actually, if my guides or angels had any messages for me at all.
Well, the first thing I'm seeing, Stephanie, is the sign of detoxification, and they're showing me just scrubbing you down on the outside and the inside. The message seems to be about environmental toxins much more than dietary toxins. So it feels like you have been around someone who's smoking or around some sort of fumes or air pollution. Does that make sense?
No. I don't
what
think
about
so.
your work environment? Do you work around anything like that?
Not at all, actually.
They're showing me the sign of pollution or some sort of toxins on your body.
On my body.
Mm-hmm. Like you're breathing it. You're absorbing it.
Oh, my God. Could it be a toxic relationship?
This actually is a physical message. If you want me to see about your relationship, I'll check in. But they show me the sign of, it actually looks more like in your house. There may be something like asbestos or mold that you may not even be aware of. What's that?
I said, you're kidding, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's
wow.
a really clear sign. Are you having any sort of itching or any kind of allergic reactions?
I've had a headache all day that I can't figure out why.
Yeah, I feel like, and have you been at your house all day?
In and out.
Yeah, it feels like, and this has nothing to do with our housekeeping. This can be, a function of just dampness. There can be hidden mold in houses, and I really trust the angels when they show me these signs. It's always right on, and
a lot
it's
of
something
there is mold. There's mold they're not even aware of.
Exactly, and it does nothing to their housekeeping. They keep showing me up on the ceiling, in corners, high in the ceiling. And and I'm hearing airborne particles. And so what I'm getting is I'm seeing an air purifier is very, very helpful. And then if you're able to, just to get someone in there, there's experts now who can get in and take care of mold spores. You can actually call environmental cleaners to your house, and they can help with it.
We actually had we're selling our house.
Okay.
We sold it, actually. It's sold, and we're moving out next month into a new house. So we're leaving this house behind. But actually, the inspectors came in and looked over the house and said there was nothing wrong. So I personally thought there was mold and they were going to find something, but they said there wasn't. So I was very curious about that.
Yeah. Okay. So see, you're listening to your angels, Stephanie. You got the message. There's mold. There is, and so it feels like it's behind the surface, in between the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think I know exactly where it is, actually.
Okay. So you got the message already, and I'm just here to corroborate that that's what it is. And your headaches are also, our bodies are 100% intelligent, and they know exactly what's going on. So when we get pain, like a headache, instead of taking an aspirin, it's really important to interview the body and say, what message are you trying to give me? And your body, through the headache, is trying to give you the message it doesn't like the mold. And your intuition already knew this. So I would just go to the health food store and look if there's any kind of herbs you can take that could counter that, not kill the pain, but just counter any effects. I'd get outside as much as possible, and I would definitely, for that month you're living there, go buy an air purifier and maybe a dehumidifier.
Okay, will do. Wow, that is totally not what I thought they were going to say.
You never know what the angels are going to say. They see everything.
Wow.
Nope.
Amazing. Is there anything else before I go? I'm concerned about that now, though. I'm like, oh my God, am I sick? Like, is this serious? Should I go see a doctor?
No, I don't see that. I can always see serious illness. I do not see that in your body. I'm not a medical doctor, but I'm a medical intuitive. I can see energy, and I don't see the sign of anything serious. I get that you're highly sensitive, and you do need to detoxify.
Okay.
So I would, if I were you, I'd be going to a health food store. I'd get a detox kit, and then but they keep showing me. So I'm going to tell you this. They keep showing me bleach can kill the mold.
Bleach.
Mm-hmm. Although I wouldn't want to breathe that, but they keep showing it to me, so I have an obligation to share that with you.
Okay. Yeah.
But you're only there for another month, and you're going to be fine. I think the call mostly is to give you confidence when you get a feeling like that. Even when so-called experts tell you otherwise, always trust your feeling.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Doreen. I actually thought they were going to say something about, because the last time I asked somebody about my guides, they said that I should be using my intuitive abilities more, and this is what I'm verging on to help people by using my intuitive. But I'm scared to do it. Can't trust myself enough, but I do trust myself. But I trust myself to listen to myself. But in order to help other people, I have to trust myself to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is a perfect example. I mean, and look at you. You got through on the radio show. You're doing successful things. You got the message about the mold. I mean, you're right on. So practice like that helps to build confidence.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just learn to trust messages. Learn to trust what you're getting. Your body is talking to you.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Doreen, and thank you. Lots of love. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling in. Okay. But, this is what I deal with all the time in my clients is that you make yourself sick, but people say they don't want to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
the
always
body
a reason.
Doesn't get sick accidentally.
There's another caller. We have to find out, why did you do this? Why did you bring it on? Okay.
Right.
Okay, there's another caller. Hello? Somebody there?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
You have a
speak up real nice and loud for us, please.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I just want to say I'm very honored to be talking to both of you tonight. I recommend both of you to people as often as I possibly can, especially and using the angel cards and that sort of thing. I guess my question tonight is I've got a 9-year-old niece who's extremely talented and sensitive, and she's had some pretty icky stuff hit her, and we've helped her work through it, but she's regressed as far as behavior. She's more, my sister has said that she could trust her more as a 7-year-old than she can now. She's really having trouble in her schoolwork, and I really could use some guidance on what we can do to help her. So
What's
that
her
she,
first
number
name,
one, doesn't
please?
want Sonora.
How do you spell it?
Sonora.
Sonora, okay. And do you call her a different name? Do you call her for short something else?
Well, my auntie name for her is Bugdoodle.
Okay. Okay.
I call her
So
Bug.
as I tune into Sonora, I get extreme food allergies to wheat. Extremely sensitive to wheat. They also show me the sign of, and I mean this with great respect, but it's a specific sign I get occasionally. She's got a little bit of the drama queen going in her, where she brings attention to herself and enjoys it. And whether it's so-called negative or positive attention, she's got quite a bit of drama in her. And so, first thing I would do, and I'm not a nutritionist, but I do have a background in eating disorder therapist combined with my psychic ability. I would really highly recommend a gluten-free diet for Sonora. And these days it's so easy. There's alternatives. You can have any kind of food you want practically and get it gluten-free. Gluten is never a good idea for anyone in my experience. It usually means going wheat-free and going more toward your rice and sometimes corn products.
And actually, that sort of thing does run in our family. We've got another cousin who's about that age who's got the gluten. She's got the full-on celiacs going on.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is the extreme form of gluten intolerance. Yeah, so Sonora to have that.
So a lot of people don't think about pasta, but that also falls in with that category.
Exactly, and pasta was exactly what I saw her eating. So
yeah,
not only bread and cereal, it is pastas too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then the other thing with her being very dramatic is there's ways of channeling that in positive ways, such as at that age there are children's theatrical groups. She can get into any kind of theatrical or drama classes. Really emphasizing giving her attention when she's quote good, rather than just saving up the attention for when she acts out, is really important with this particular girl.
Okay. Is there any other children in the family, or is she the only child?
No, she's the oldest. She's got a brother who's about a year and a half younger. Well, about a year younger than her, and then there's a younger sister. And the two girls are very tuned into what goes on beyond the veil.
Okay, but that makes sense. Then there would be a bid for attention when there's more than one child.
Right, and the youngest is really
you may not realize it. You may not realize it, but maybe you are giving the other ones more attention than you're giving her, and she's acting out because of that.
That could be. I don't get to see them very often. They're out in North Dakota, and I'm in New Mexico.
You're the cool aunt.
I am. I strive to be that auntie.
Yeah, and every crystal child that I've met has at least one cool aunt. So that's part of the reason that they agree to even be incarnated. And so it's a very important sacred role that you're playing, and it's not about quantity of time with them, but quality. But as a cool aunt, you can send her books or cards, that would help her to ground.
At Valentine's Day, I did send her a deck of your Archangel Michael cards.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
And
then I have a deck for kids called...
also giving her attention, too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I just really kind of wanted to figure it out, because there was what we believe to be an entity that had followed her across several lifetimes and was really kind of being horrible to her. And by calling in Michael and asking Michael to help remove this, we believe we've helped. However, the doctors decided and the school decided she needed to be on 40 milligrams of Prozac a day.
Oh, boy.
And my sister's like, no, we're done with this. And so she's now off the meds, and we've got her doing some yoga, and we've got her doing some art therapy, because she's fixated on rainbows.
Oh, well, of course.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's a very special person, as you know. And when you're someone who's that evolved, it's tough being in a child's body, because you're ready to go and do your purpose as an adult, and it requires all the patience. And I'm glad you've got her going into art, because that's a way she can express herself at a deep, nonverbal level. You might also experiment with music with her also.
Okay. Yeah, her youngest sister is also very talented that way, but she's had control over it since she was an infant. I mean, when she was 3 months old, she was speaking to me telepathically. She actually asked me, I know who you are, do you?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a new generation of children are. They are special children.
Yeah.
And they're not like the generations before them.
No.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful relationship you have with her. And it's just going to grow and get even more special through time.
Okay. Aside from my job with my nieces and nephews, are there any other messages that my guides need me to know right now?
The message for you is also dietary. They really want you to add more greens to your diet than you've been. And you've been getting that message too.
Yeah, I have. I'm not going to deny it.
They mean it. I know they want you to give a message, about career or about love life. And a lot of times people get frustrated when the angels say, no, we want you to change your diet. But that's the way that they're going to get you the career and the love life and everything else you want.
Right.
The diet is the fuel for the engine that helps you to manifest all of your dreams.
They've been very clear on what's waiting for me if I would just shape up. So I know what's possible. I just needed the kick in the pants from you for the veggies.
Yeah, well, it's real. These messages are real. If you would just eat one more salad a day, those dreams will come to you much quicker.
Okay, I will do that. I can't deny it.
The Archangel's Metatron, who is very good for motivating you to act in healthy ways for your body, and Raphael, the healing angel. So Metatron and Raphael can help you to want to eat more salads.
Okay, I will enlist their aid in pulling myself out of somewhat of the carnivore rut. Beautiful.
Now it's up to love yourself. Your part to play in the whole thing too.
Yes, and Dolores, I just have to say I've enjoyed your books so much, and I'm just thrilled that I got the chance to talk to you. I can't wait to find a seminar where I get to actually participate with either one of you, actually. But again, thank you for this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, and thanks for calling.
Absolutely.
And on that note, Doreen and I are really trying to get a one-day, what do you want to call it, a seminar or what, a one-day lecture, what workshop, I guess that'd be a good way to put it.
Wow, that's going to be a powerful day, too. And so we'll let everyone know through our websites.
Yeah, we're really trying to make that materialize this year in 2012.
Yeah, we're looking at the end of November in Hawaii. So if you could just everyone could save that time of year to come for your Hawaiian vacation with Dolores and myself.
Yeah, it would be after Thanksgiving.
Right.
It'll be on my way back I got to go to Turkey, to Istanbul, and to China again. It'll be on the way back. It's a way to break the trip up. So Doreen thought this would be a wonderful thing to do, just have a one-day workshop. Mm-hmm. So if you watch our website, you're going to hear more about this.
Yay.
Okay. All right, but I know you just got back from a cruise, too.
Yeah, I did the Hay House Angel Healing Retreat in the Caribbean, and then was in San Jose last week speaking, and then in a week and a half I'll be going to Atlanta to speak at the Hay House I Can Do It event, teaching online courses through Hay House Radio, and just the right amount of busyness this year so far. It's gonna speed up, but for right now it's been very balanced and happy.
Well, there's another caller, but I'm going back to Europe at the end of July, and I'll be there till the end of the year. Then I come home and go to Asia. But we're even getting more countries wanting me to come. So I said, I'm just a person, I can't keep, there's only so many days in a year.
I totally relate. I get the same thing. I just, hopping from country to country gets exhausting. I do the best I can and hope people will come to see me wherever I speak, and the same with coming to see you.
Because, we feel you have to do this, and I know that's why they keep me healthy, because we have all this work to do.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, another caller on there. Who's there? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Suzanne.
Okay.
And I've been to Doreen's workshops and read several of your books, and I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I don't know if I'm blocked or what, or if it's my ego, but there's part of me that doesn't believe it. It's kind of like blind faith. And but I can be a very intuitive and psychic person at the same time, and suffer from low self-esteem. So I was just wondering if you could.
The old conscious mind is the one that's always saying, you don't believe it. That's that other part of us, the conscious mind. Go ahead, Doreen.
I actually respect skepticism. I don't think that we should accept all of these things we hear unless they resonate with us. I know you're the same way, Dolores, that you and I both, we're not trying to talk anyone into anything. It's just we offer up the truths that we know, and if they resonate, that's great. And if they don't, hopefully we spark that curiosity where you can research it for yourself.
We plant a seed anyway.
Yeah. But so you don't have to believe in angels.
Anybody, they all have their free will. We just drop little seeds and crumbs, and maybe they'll benefit from it.
Exactly. Yeah, I know you're the same way. You're not trying to convert or convince anybody of anything.
Yeah.
I'm sure not. So when I look at you, the angels say, well, we've kept you alive. It looks like there was some sort of experience where you did have a brush with death, and the angels helped. They're not giving me any details about it, but that's all they're saying is, you're alive, aren't you? And so that's proof that the angels have helped you. Do you know what that means? Because I can ask more details, but I want to see if you understand that message.
No, I don't have a clue. And believe me, I really want to contact and ask them to help me. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And I want it to be more a natural part of myself.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a block or something, you know?
Okay, well, you know, the first thing I want to say, this is the first hit I got when listening to you, is that the bigger someone's life purpose is, the louder the ego is. And the ego doesn't want us to hear the angels because then we will be happy and at peace. And the ego's whole mission is to keep fear in the world because that's its food and its life force. So
I call the conscious mind. That's what you're calling the ego. It's the same thing.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so the fact that your conscious mind or your ego is being this loud is a clue that you have a very big life purpose. And so congratulations on that. They do show me, when I tune into you, that you've got a natural healing ability. You've dabbled in the healing arts, or you've worked in the healing arts, or taken some classes in the healing arts. And this has been in the back of your mind, but there's been a part of you that's not wanted to follow through on this. You also are extremely creative, I think more than you've even given yourself credit for. And you need a big, healthy dose of creativity in your life. That would get the flow going a lot more of feeling the happiness and the peace. Because it's really not even about believing in the angels. It's about being happy. That's the bottom line. The angels don't even care if you believe in them. All they care about is, are you happy or not? And so when I tune into you, I get that you need to be have some arts and crafts in your life, some sort of creative outlet. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I was just wondering, is the healing in my hands, or is it just the presence of me? Sometimes I feel like I can just talk to someone and I'm shifting their energy as I'm talking to them.
I would agree with you. You definitely have healing hands, because healing energy, when I look at people and do a reading, it's green, and your hands are bright green. And so you have that ability, and you've dabbled in this, as they said. And it looks like you've taken some healing classes or read about healing. And so the healing can also come through talk therapy, like you've been doing, and channeling messages for them. A lot of why you don't have the bells and the whistles with angels, like I always call it bells and whistles because I see these visions or I hear these voices. You're more claircognizant, which means that you're getting messages from your angels as thoughts or ideas that are downloaded. And these thoughts don't really make a big entry. They just are there. And so things might seem obvious.
They're so much a part of me, you mean?
Yeah. Yep, they're a part of you. But and if you've noticed something that's so obvious to you, other people are clueless about. Have you noticed that? And that's because they're not getting that claircognizant message that you are.
Okay. So I don't even really have to reach out of myself to the angels. It's just I'm more connected than I even realize.
Well, yes, exactly. The claircognizant is the highest vibrational way that you can get messages because it comes from the crown chakra at the top of your head. And it's kind of like, I always call it God downloading information. You know without knowing how you know.
Cool. I just can't wait to get off the phone to tell everyone about these two fantastic women that I spoke to this evening. It's such an honor, and you're beautiful role models to show people what we can really do, and for the listeners who allowed me the time to speak with you.
Well, God bless you. Thank you for that.
It's very nice. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, and thank you.
Okay,
I know
good night.
Don said there were 4 callers, so I don't. If we have another one, I want to get them in before we get too late into the show. But we can just keep on talking until we hear the beep. Anyway, there it is. As he said, there were last week they had to cut them off because we were getting too late. Okay, who's there? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Kelly.
Kelly, hi.
Hi. Good afternoon to both of you ladies. I actually didn't even think that I was going to get through, and I'd asked my angels. I said, if I've got something to say, then, let me get through, and click, it happened.
Beautiful.
But, Doreen, I was introduced to your books about 15 years ago, and forgive me if I get a little emotional, but it was during a really struggle time in my life, as it is, again. I felt just like Suzanne was saying that she's blocked, and but I believe in my angels. I talk to my angels every day. I met a really wonderful woman by the name of Michelle Denman in Sedona, and that's where I was introduced to your books. And she had told me that after reading a lot of your books, that my son was an indigo child.
And what's your son's first name, please?
Ryan.
Ryan, R-Y-A-N?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's 24.
Okay.
He's not such a child anymore, but always mine.
Right.
But my dad recently passed away. It'll be a year next month.
Right. I'm sorry.
And
what was your dad's
I feel like
first name?
I'm sorry?
What's your dad's first name?
Bo.
Bo?
Or Barton.
Barton or Bo?
B-O.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And ever since then, I've just felt, I've been trying to get back into all of my spirituality. I left it for so long because of all of the unhappiness around me, and the difficult things happening with the kids and my marriage and things. And I'm trying to really focus myself now.
Okay.
And it just doesn't seem like I'm getting there.
I understand, Kelly, and what you're saying a lot of people can relate to. They show me the sign that you've been financially insecure or focused or worried about money. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that being so focused on, where will the money come from has detoured you a little bit from where you want to be. Okay?
In a way, it's more my husband who's so afraid of that.
I understand. So his energy is either bleeding off onto you, his fears about money, and then you're going to need to shield if that's the case, or you're blaming him somehow for you being focused on money. Either way is toxic for you, and it needs just to be taken care of. So I'm pointing this out as respectfully as I can, because you're my client right now and our client by calling. And so what can we do for you is, without sounding like some sort of religious person, I keep hearing the Sermon on the Mount, the book in Matthew, that, just seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all this will be added unto you. First you put your focus on spirituality, and then everything follows that you need. And you've kind of put maybe through your husband's lead, if you've put your focus on first seek money, and then spirituality follows. And that's just backwards. And it happens. I see that in quite a few people. I'm sure you do too, Dolores.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's more of trying to, because, such hard times now. And
well, saying that's only going to manifest that. I really work with people to be careful about what you say about the economy, because there's people who are having stellar years financially right now who are in ethical and beautiful professions. So what they're doing is they keep saying economy's great, I have plenty of money, I'm manifesting.
See, Doreen, that's what's happening to my company. It's growing by leaps and bounds. So people keep talking about the economy, and I said, what economy? It just depends on what your focus is, what you're going to create.
Exactly.
Right,
so
and I completely...
Be careful to never say these hard times. If you say hard times, that's what you're going to manifest.
Yeah, the fear comes in, and you manifest what you focus on.
Yes, and I very much agree with you, and I will be the first one to say that I've been in like a whirlpool of negativity, and I want to pull myself out so desperately of that, especially since my father passed away, with dealing with family, very negative family members, and I know that it comes back to me as well. And, where I just want to sit here and focus with my family,
right,
and figure out my life's work. That would be my ultimate dream, is just let's figure out my life's work. Well, you can do that. If you just can't give away your power, honey. So it's not about your dad or your husband or anyone. That's giving away power. We need you to be doing your healing work, your light work now, and it means really taking charge of your thoughts and your feelings and your words, like a laser beam, and putting them on seeing yourself and see your husband is happy and see your dad in heaven is happy. And you can lift the whole family up through your decision and heal this situation. If you wait for them to give you permission to go forward, you're going to be waiting the whole lifetime.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because this is how powerful you are. You create the circumstances in your life. You create your reality. So make it a reality that you want.
Yeah, it's all kind of been put on my shoulders, and
see, again, that sounds victim-y, though, and you're not a victim. You're a powerful woman.
No. I'm not a victim. I won't be a victim anymore. Absolutely.
Good.
Don't buy into that, because you're not a victim.
Nuh-uh. Nope, I refuse.
No one can put anything
anymore
on you. The economy is great if you just will affirm that.
Okay.
And really, when we allow ourselves to manifest a lot of money, it gives us more money to donate to charities that need it and help our loved ones. So let yourself be abundant. Let yourself be happy, sweetheart. You're so beautiful.
I think
it's the law of the universe. Once you start manifesting, it has to happen.
And I know this, and that's why I think I needed to hear it from you ladies.
Yay.
Okay.
To reinforce it again. But,
well, that's what we'll be doing at our workshop.
We know what we're going to do with our workshop, I think.
You'll come in with poverty and victim mentality. You're going to leave empowered.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for calling. We're going to have a few more questions, and not from callers, because we're coming up to when we have to sign off. But thanks for calling in. Okay, but we only have a few more minutes, Doreen.
Yeah, that went fast.
The whole hour has gone so fast.
Whew, really fast.
I just want you to tell people what you're doing now. Are you working on another book or anything?
Yes, I am. I've been writing a lot, and so I have a couple of new things coming out. I'm really excited about a brand new book about Mother Mary that took me a long time to write, called Mary, Queen of Angels, and it's about people who've had Mary visions and Mary sightings and Mary healings. So Mary, Queen of Angels will be coming out any minute now. I've got a brand new deck of tarot cards, or sometimes called tarot in Europe, and I wanted a deck of cards, Dolores, that was gentle, that was same as tarot traditionally with the 78 cards, and the
your angel cards are gentle.
Well, those are gentle, but those are not tarot. Those are oracle cards. So I have my first deck of traditional tarot cards, but there's no negative words or scary symbols or anything like that. It's 100% gentle tarot cards called the Angel Tarot cards, and they're pre-selling on Amazon, and they've been selling even before they're out. They've been the number 2 selling tarot deck on Amazon. So I'm really excited about that. They're coming out any day now, and my romance angel cards just came out, which are really powerful. My new decks kind of go into the shadows a little bit more without any kind of fear. So the romance angel cards are really, really honest and truthful about relationships, and I just have so much fun creating cards. That's my life purpose, is to create cards. And I know it.
That's what I say. And we talk about retirement. I wouldn't know what to do sitting around twiddling my thumbs. I'd be bored out of my skull. I don't twiddle very good, and I don't think you do either.
No. But I just want to spend the last remaining time just recommending to those who are my listeners and readers to really, I highly recommend Dolores' books and workshops. This is a woman who's got her finger on the pulse, and Dolores is spreading real love and light. So please be sure to buy a Dolores Cannon book and go to at least one of her workshops.
Okay. And before we sign off, Doreen, I've got to tell them about you. You're getting married at the end of the year.
I am. I'm getting married. We haven't publicly announced the date yet, but this amazing man that I met in 2009, we reconnected on Facebook. And so I'm telling my single friends, forget Match.com, look at your Facebook friend list. But we had met in 2009, but when we re-met, it was love at first sight. And we had both lost someone very dear to us last year, and so we kind of met through comforting each other in grief, and it just went from there. And he channels angels like I do, and he's an absolute angel man working with Archangel Michael. And I'm just happier than I've ever been. And everyone says I look younger, and I know I feel younger and happier. So it can happen.
You think it's going to be in December anyway, somewhere about the end of the year.
Well, we haven't publicly announced it, but there's a real good chance.
Okay, but that's what I told you. Your angels would lead you to the right person.
Yeah, everything's moving really fast, and I love this new pace of life because I think going slow is kind of the old energy.
Okay, he's telling us we're going to have to go off. Just give them your website before we go, so they can know how to contact you.
Sure, my complete schedule and everything is on DoreenVirtue.com or AngelTherapy.com. They both go to the same place. And then on Facebook, I'm the Doreen Virtue official fan page, where we have an angel party going on right now. We'd love to have everyone join us.
Oh, okay. All right, so the hour has flown by. But, Doreen, I can't thank you enough. It's been a real honor and a pleasure to have you on tonight.
Thank you, Dolores. I love you so much, and thank you to all your listeners. Lots of love and light to everyone.
And thanks, everyone, for tuning in tonight and for listening. Good night, everybody.
If you enjoyed the show, check out more of our other videos, and be sure to subscribe and click the like button. Thank you for listening to the Metaphysical Hour with Dolores Cannon.